started. There's a couple of things, I guess, that I've been wanting to really talk about and discuss, okay? And people, of course, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the beginnings of everything and understandings of everything, because a very important thing to understand is everyone's gonna have their own opinion, and everyone's gonna have their own perception, and everyone's gonna believe something differently than the other individual, okay? So whatever you take away, and be proud of what you take away. And, I'm very big on beliefs. And if you feel very strongly about your belief, I'll understand it. And I always like to see, all points of views, because the more points of views, the more you know, the more value you understand and give, at that point. So I guess the biggest thing that I do want to talk about is, people call it the hustler mindset, right? For me, I had, went through a big rock bottom in my life. And if most people knew where I come from a father that, started from the very bottom, and worked his way up. Now, I had the ability to go and live that, structured lifestyle. But because I wanted to understand certain things, I put myself in a position to learn from the bottom up. Now, it didn't have to be that way. I could have been this positive human and live life the society's way, and but then again, if I learned that way, I would still fit into a box, if that makes sense. I would end up fitting into society's box because I learned that way. I did the things that normal people do. I do certain things. I go to school, I go to college. And for me, it's not like that, okay? So with that being said, I don't go to college. For me, I don't need college to be this highly successful human, okay? And the reason why I say that is because I saw a man, which is my father, work his tail off day and night. We would have to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and run to Andrews and all sorts of places to deliver parts. And this was at the beginning of starting his own company, and I watched him, you know what I mean? And so maybe I was reliving the past, not my past, but someone else's past. Of course, my father and my mom. So I was reliving a past story. With that being said, those trial and errors that I had made had to do with a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, and because it was so chaotic for me, I didn't understand that I was doing it to myself. Now, when I say something like that, number one, you'll never understand why things happen, okay? Things that are out of your control, you can try and understand why things happen the way they happen and stuff like that. But if it's out of your control, accept certain things, but understand them. You know what I mean? So, because I was trying to control something that was already in the past, okay? Because I was still trying to control this narrative of a story, and because my whole life was dedicated on trying to understand this, reality, you know what I mean? I tore myself down, okay? And I chose to, rather than saying, okay, these are my cards. This is what has happened in my life. This is what I did. This is what I caused. This is the destruction that I caused. This is the hurt that I caused. This is my life. I did these things, right? Instead, I chose, you did this, you did this, you did this, you did this, life did this, the world did this. And because I chose that life, and I chose put the blame on everyone else, I chose to do that. I literally condemned myself to a fate worth not fulfilling, okay? So now there's two options. There's always going to be two options to your life, okay? Number one, you could stay there, right? Number one, you can stay there. Or two, you can choose the taking responsibility and the accountability of, I did this. I said this. I created this lifestyle. I did. Do you understand? Everyone has a choice. So when you decide to take accountability for the things that you had a choice in, number one, there's many things that you have a choice in, okay? You have a choice in your emotions. You control your emotions, okay? It's either you control them or you let them control you, okay? You have emotions, right? Then you have your thoughts, and you also have the actions, okay? Those are the things you can control. And when you stop accepting the lies and the perceptions or beliefs that other people have, and when you start accepting that this is my life right now, okay? I want to go there because there is a better life for me. And I understand that if I want a better life, and if I want to feel better in here, right? If I want to put myself first, I must first, right? First accept that this is me and this is my reality, right? And so then you decide, okay, since I want to go there, I have to change me, okay? I have to change the way that I've been doing things. I have to change, how I talk to people. I have to change certain things in order to get there. Not for anyone else, not according to someone else's self-image that they want of me, not according to, their lifestyle, not according to my parents' lifestyle, not according to anyone. This is my life, and I need to get my life right because I know that no one else can do it for me. Nor can I go and live someone else's life, right? So you do it in your best interest, but it first takes the understanding that this is my life, okay? And no one else can live it for me. And once you understand that simple concept, that's the moment when you can change your whole life and when you can change your whole world. But how long is that going to take for you to understand that? Until you understand, and instead of, trying to blame other people and feeling pitiful about yourself and trying to play the blame game, understand you can't control everything, but what you can do is control here, the inner world, right? This is my inner world, you have an inner world, and then we're all existing. These physical bodies are existing out in this outer world. But nothing will change if you don't decide that, okay? You can decide or you don't. You decide or you don't. It's simple as that. Now, what you take from this is up to you, right? But I guess the other side of this is, are you willing to stay conformed to what you know? Are you wanting to live the same life over and over and over? Are you wanting to live this, I won't call it that, but this lifestyle according to what society says? Or are you going to start putting a path for people? Are you going to put a path for your family to understand that you don't have to live that way? Are you going to leave a legacy? What are you going to do? What is on purpose for you to go and be someone that is worth fulfilling? You know what I mean? Now, those are two different models and they look different, right? But we come back to the center and we say, okay, now decide. Now, most people would say, well, I want me deciding my own reality. I want the good life. I want the happy life, the wealthy life. Here's the thing though. And this is a big thing that I talk to my sister about is you could say one thing, but if you don't do, then I can't trust you. And the reason why I say that is because people say and never do. And for me, if I say something, well, by golly, you better go get your ass up and, well, excuse my language, you better go get up and go do it, right? And it's very important that you know that, because what we do every day is deciding our everyday reality, right? If we want something to change in our outside world, we're gonna have to change what's going on in here, and then the things that we start doing out here, right? So 2 key points that you need to understand when wanting to change your life, but you kind of have to do it. I can tell you and I can show you things and say things, but it's all in your own, we'll call it your own time, right? Time is nothing, okay? We have all the time in the world until we die, right? Now, for me, if I'm being logical with myself, I'm 21, so we'll say I have about 40 to 60 years, okay, of life to live. Because nowadays, we have a lot of junk stuff that we consume. So with that being said, that's the time mark I have. Now, I have a lot of things I want to achieve and a lot of people I want to change, but because I have so much, I need to get started today, okay? I need to get started now. What that looks like for you is totally different. You may want some other kind of life. You may want to do other things. The point in all of this is, number one, depression is a thing if you make it a thing, okay? Anxiety is a thing if you make it a thing. You can determine and decide whether that affects you or not, okay? You can determine to dwell in it and let it take over your life or not, okay? Or you could choose your life. You could choose what you feel, and you can choose, but you're gonna have to train your body. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to train your body, and I'm not saying it's easy. Okay, we've been built in habits, right? Habits that we do on a daily basis. So it's not going to be easy, right? If we're always angry and we've been angry our whole lives, we're gonna have to get into the habit of smiling at everything, because we're gonna have to force that other habit out and put a new habit there, right? So it's not easy, but the people that want it more will get it. You know what I mean? So determine what you want. Determine how you want to feel. Determine the reality you want to live. And I'm still working on a lot of things myself, but if I can help others, get to their destination while I'm helping myself, then I will. You know what I mean? Because I have that ability. I do. We all have the ability to pick each other up and help each other, but a lot of people don't see that we do have that ability. So here's me giving that handout to you and saying that you got this. And every day that we work on ourselves, and some days we don't want to, but every day that we work on ourselves is another step closer to a life worth fulfilling. You know what I mean? So take it in, take what you want from this video, but clear your perception before you come in. You know what I mean? And it's at the end of the video, so you probably won't see this till after, but rewatch it if you have to. You know what I mean? Who says you can't? You know what I mean? So take what you want, be a happy person, create, imagine, think big outside of society's checkbox, do what you need to do to be happy.